Imagine yourself standing at the edge of a vast ocean. The cool breeze brushes against your skin, and the waves crash relentlessly at your feet. Now picture those waves aren't just water. They're the challenges you face every day, the stress that keeps you up at night, the fears that whisper doubts into your mind, and the chaos that seems to follow wherever you go. You try to outrun them, don't you? We all do. But no matter how far or fast we go, those waves always seem to pull us back. But what if there was a way to stop running? What if you could stand there, face those waves, and remain completely unshaken, no matter how fierce the storm? What if instead of feeling overwhelmed, you could find clarity in the midst of the chaos, strength in the face of fear, and peace even as the world around you rages? This isn't about some supernatural ability or a life free of struggles. It's about something deeper, something ancient, a secret rooted in Buddhist wisdom that's as relevant today as it was thousands of years ago. It's about transforming how you see the waves, how you react to them, and ultimately, how you rise above them. And here's the beautiful part. You don't need to retreat to a monastery or isolate yourself from the world to discover this. This path is for everyone, for parents juggling responsibilities, students facing uncertainty, professionals battling burnout, and anyone who simply longs for a steadier, calmer mind. By the end of this journey, you'll understand how to embrace life's storms instead of running from them. You'll learn how to cultivate an unshakable mind, one that turns hardships into wisdom and fears into courage. You'll have the tools to stand at the edge of that ocean, face those waves, and discover the peace you've been searching for all along. Let's begin. Together, let's unlock the Buddhist secret. The Buddha once taught, "The mind is everything. What you think, you become." At first, these words might sound like a simple quote to ponder, but let them sink in for a moment. They carry a truth so profound, it could transform how you experience your entire life. Consider this. How often has a single negative thought taken root in your mind, spiraling into a bad mood, or even an entire bad day? How many dreams have you abandoned, not because you lacked ability, but because self-doubt whispered, "You're not good enough"? Our thoughts have a unique power. They can uplift us, inspire us, and push us toward greatness. Or they can imprison us, pulling us into fear, anger, and endless suffering. The mind, when left untrained, is like an untamed animal, reacting to every threat, real or imagined, and dragging us wherever it pleases. It's why we get caught up in cycles of worry, frustration, or regret, often without even realizing it. But here's the secret. The mind doesn't have to control you. You can learn to guide it, to work with it, to transform it. This is one of the most profound lessons Buddhism offers. When you cultivate awareness and discipline, your mind becomes your greatest ally. It becomes a tool so powerful, it can transform pain into wisdom and fear into courage. Imagine, instead of being paralyzed by self-doubt, you learn to see it for what it is, just a passing thought, not a defining truth. Imagine facing life's challenges, not with dread, but with calm and clarity. It doesn't mean the storms of life won't come. They will. No one is immune to difficulties. But the question isn't whether challenges will arise. It's how your mind will respond when they do. This is where the Buddhist secret lies. The mind, when nurtured and trained, is not a prison. It's the key to freedom. It's the gateway to a life where even hardships can be stepping stones towards strength, clarity, and peace. Your mind has that potential. The question is, are you ready to unlock it? Let's begin. An unshakable mind doesn't mean you'll never feel pain. It doesn't mean frustration, doubt, or sadness will magically disappear from your life. Even the Buddha himself experienced the full spectrum of human emotions. What sets an unshakable mind apart isn't the absence of these feelings, it's how you respond to them. Think about it. How often do we cling to emotions, replaying a hurtful comment in our heads, or dwelling on a mistake long after it's passed? An unshakable mind doesn't cling. It doesn't try to fight or suppress emotions either. Instead, it observes them. It acknowledges their presence, learns from them, and then lets them go, like watching clouds drift across the sky. The clouds are real, but they don't linger forever. Neither do emotions. This isn't something that happens overnight. Developing an unshakable mind is like building a muscle. It takes time, effort, and practice. But it is absolutely possible. Imagine being able to face criticism without feeling crushed by it. Imagine enduring setbacks, unexpected ones that might normally knock you off balance, without losing your sense of worth. This isn't about ignoring the difficulties of life or pretending that challenges don't exist. It's about meeting them head-on, with a kind of inner stability that feels unshakable. When you cultivate this mindset, you stop reacting out of fear or anger. You stop letting doubt dictate your decisions or allowing frustration to define your relationships. Instead, you're grounded. You stand firm in who you are, and you handle life's ups and downs with authenticity and courage. This is the beauty of an unshakable mind. It doesn't mean life stops being difficult, but it does mean you stop being controlled by those difficulties. You begin to live freely, untethered by fear and doubt, and empowered to face whatever comes your way with grace and resilience. This is the gift that the Buddhist Secret offers, a life of true freedom, not from challenges, but through them. And that kind of freedom is within your reach. One of the most transformative tools in Buddhism is mindfulness. At its core, mindfulness invites us to be fully present, not caught in the regrets of the past or the anxieties of the future, but truly here, in this moment. It teaches us to observe our thoughts and emotions without judgment, without labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong. Imagine standing on the bank of a river. The water flows steadily, carrying leaves, sticks, and other debris. In mindfulness, you are the observer on the riverbank, calmly watching the flow. The thoughts, emotions, and distractions are like the debris, passing by, constantly moving. Without mindfulness, most of us live as if we've fallen into the river, swept away by its current, tumbling through the chaos. But mindfulness reminds us that we don't have to jump in. We can watch. We can let it flow. This awareness is cultivated through meditation. In meditation, you don't have to do anything extraordinary. You sit quietly, observe your breath, and notice your thoughts as they come and go. At first, it feels overwhelming. Your mind may feel like a storm, a whirlwind of distractions, worries, memories, and plans for the future. It's easy to feel frustrated, as if you're doing it wrong. But here's the secret. There's no wrong way to notice. That chaos you're observing, that's the practice. With time, something remarkable happens. You start to notice the space between the thoughts. You realize that your mind, even when busy, doesn't define you. You aren't your thoughts. They're just passing clouds, not the sky itself. And as you let go of the need to react to every thought or feeling, you begin to experience a sense of detachment, not cold indifference, but a gentle freedom. Each moment of mindfulness strengthens your ability to respond to life, not out of impulse or fear, but with calm clarity. It's like developing a muscle. Day by day, as you practice, the space between you and your reactions grows. In that space, there is choice. Choice to pause, choice to act with intention, choice to align your actions with your values. Mindfulness isn't about silencing the chaos of life. It's about learning to live harmoniously within it. Over time, you'll notice that situations that once overwhelmed you no longer hold the same power. You'll respond to challenges with a steady mind, no longer swept away by frustration or fear. This is the beauty of mindfulness. It's not just a practice, it's a way of living, a path to resilience and inner peace. Each mindful breath, each moment of awareness, is a step closer to the unshakable mind that Buddhism teaches us to cultivate. This isn't just a tool, it's the foundation for living fully, freely, and intentionally. And it all begins with a single breath. Fear is one of the most universal human experiences. It's something we all face, no matter who we are. Fear of failure, fear of loss, Fear of the unknown. It creeps into our minds, often uninvited, and sometimes it feels like it has taken over completely. Fear can paralyze us, hold us back, and make even the simplest decisions feel impossible. But what if fear wasn't the enemy we think it is? What if it could actually be our greatest teacher? Buddhism offers a powerful perspective on fear. It doesn't ask us to suppress it or pretend it doesn't exist. Instead, it invites us to approach fear with curiosity. Fear isn't something to run from, it's something to understand. When we face fear directly, we begin to see it for what it really is: a temporary emotion, one often fueled by imagined outcomes and worst-case scenarios that may never come to pass. Think about it. How much of your fear is based on reality, and how much is based on what if? What if I fail? What if I lose what I love? What if things don't work out? These imagined possibilities give fear its power. But when we pause and examine it, we often find that the fear itself is weaker than we believed. This is where mindfulness comes in. Through mindfulness, we learn to observe fear without being consumed by it. Picture it like watching a fire burning in the distance. It's there, it's real, but you're not standing in the flames. Instead, you're observing it from a safe distance. That's what mindfulness allows us to do with fear. We can acknowledge its presence, even feel its intensity, without letting it take control. The beauty of this practice is that it helps us realize something profound. Fear, like every other emotion, is impermanent. It comes and goes. It's not who we are, and it doesn't define us unless we let it. Fear is a wave, not the ocean. It's a moment, not the entirety of our existence. When we stop running from fear and start learning from it, it transforms. Fear becomes a guide, pointing us toward the beliefs and attachments that may be holding us back. What am I truly afraid of? Is it failure, or is it the idea that failure defines my worth? Is it loss, or is it my attachment to the idea that I can control everything? These questions, explored with curiosity instead of resistance, reveal truths about ourselves that we might not have seen otherwise. This is the power of treating fear as a teacher. It doesn't mean the fear disappears completely, but it does mean we stop giving it the power to control us. We learn to meet it with courage and clarity, knowing it's just another emotion that will pass like a cloud drifting across the sky. And in the process, we discover a strength within ourselves that we didn't know we had, a strength that comes from understanding, not avoidance. So the next time fear arises, don't run from it. Pause. Take a deep breath. Observe it. What is it trying to teach you? Because behind every fear lies an opportunity, a chance to grow, to let go of what no longer serves you, and to step into a place of greater freedom and resilience. Fear doesn't have to be your enemy. It can be the greatest teacher on your journey toward an unshakable mind. Discomfort is an inevitable part of life. We all face it, whether it's the sharp sting of physical pain, the ache of emotional hardship, or the unsettling fog of uncertainty. It's part of the human experience. But the Buddha taught something profound about discomfort. Suffering doesn't come from the discomfort itself. It comes from our resistance to it. Think about how much energy we spend trying to avoid discomfort. We dodge difficult conversations, bury painful emotions, and distract ourselves from uncertainty with endless busyness. We tell ourselves, if I just ignore this, it will go away. But does it ever truly go away? Or does it just linger beneath the surface, quietly draining our energy, robbing us of peace? Now, imagine a different approach. What if, instead of running from discomfort, we leaned into it? What if, instead of resisting, we allowed ourselves to sit with it, to feel it fully, and to understand it? This is the essence of what Buddhism teaches. It's not about pretending discomfort doesn't exist, or forcing yourself to endure more than you can handle. It's about changing your relationship with it. When discomfort arises, whether it's physical pain, heartbreak, or the fear of the unknown, Buddhism encourages us to face it with patience and acceptance. This doesn't mean resigning ourselves to misery. It means acknowledging that discomfort is temporary. It's a wave, not the entire ocean. It will pass, just like every other moment in life. Through mindfulness, we can observe discomfort without letting it consume us. Instead of reacting with panic or avoidance, we can pause and ask, what is this moment teaching me? Why does this feel so overwhelming? Often we find that the discomfort itself isn't as powerful as our resistance to it. We've built walls of fear around it, magnifying it into something far bigger than it really is. Leaning into discomfort is an act of courage. It's a way of reclaiming your power. Each time you face it mindfully, you're building resilience. You're discovering strength you didn't know you had. And here's the incredible part. As you practice, discomfort begins to lose its grip on you. The situations that once paralyzed you with fear or worry start to feel less overwhelming. They become part of the flow of life, not something to fight against. This isn't about becoming numb to life's challenges. Far from it. It's about finding peace within them. It's about understanding that discomfort doesn't have to define you. It's simply a passing experience, like a cloud moving across the sky. By leaning into it, you're not only freeing yourself from suffering, you're also opening the door to growth, wisdom, and inner peace. The next time discomfort arises, try something different. Pause. Take a deep breath. Notice it without judgment. It may not feel easy at first, but with practice, you'll start to see it for what it truly is. A temporary state, not a permanent burden. And with every moment of mindfulness, you'll discover a deeper truth. Within the discomfort lies the opportunity to grow stronger, to find clarity, and to connect with the unshakable peace that already exists within you. The Buddha taught, "No one saves us but ourselves. No one can, and no one may. We ourselves must walk the path." These words carry a profound truth, one that challenges and empowers us at the same time. They remind us that, while others may inspire us or offer guidance, the journey is ultimately ours to take. The strength we seek is not found outside of ourselves, it's within. But what does that strength look like? It's not arrogance or blind confidence. It's not pretending to be fearless or invincible. True self-belief is quieter, deeper. It's the unshakable trust that, no matter what life throws your way, you have the capacity to endure, to adapt, and to grow. It's not about ignoring the need for connection or support from others. It's about knowing that your foundation doesn't rely on anyone else's approval or validation. Think about how often we look outside ourselves for reassurance. We want others to tell us we're doing well, that we're worthy, that we're enough. But what happens when that external validation isn't there? Do we crumble? Do we stop believing in ourselves? This is where the Buddha's wisdom becomes a guiding light. Self-belief isn't something someone can give you. It's something you cultivate from within. When you trust in yourself, you're no longer paralyzed by the fear of failure. You don't need guarantees of success to take action. Instead, you see every challenge as an opportunity to learn, every setback as a stepping stone toward growth. This trust allows you to act with courage and authenticity, to pursue what truly matters to you without being held back by the opinions of others. This doesn't mean the path is easy. In fact, building self-belief can be one of the hardest things we do. It requires us to confront our insecurities and challenge the stories we've told ourselves about who we are and what we're capable of. But each step we take on this path strengthens us. Each time we face a fear or take a risk, we reinforce the belief that we are capable, that we are resilient, that we can handle whatever comes next. Self-belief also requires patience and compassion for yourself. It's not about being perfect or never doubting yourself. It's about recognizing that you are a work in progress and that every step, no matter how small, is part of the journey. It's about acknowledging your mistakes, not as failures, but as valuable lessons that shape you. When you cultivate self-belief, something remarkable happens. You begin to act not out of fear, but out of purpose. You make choices that align with your values, rather than seeking approval. You become less reactive to criticism and less dependent on praise. You stop measuring your worth by external standards and start trusting your own inner compass. The Buddha's words remind us of this power. We ourselves must walk the path. It's a path of responsibility, yes, but also one of immense freedom. When you trust in your ability to walk it, you discover that the strength you've been searching for has been within you all along. Self-belief isn't about having all the answers. It's about knowing, deep down, that whatever the next step may be, you have what it takes to take it. And that is a power no one can take away. Failure is a word that often carries a heavy weight. For many of us, it's something to fear, something to avoid at all costs. The very idea of failing can feel like a reflection of our worth, a confirmation of our deepest insecurities. But Buddhism offers a radically different perspective, one that transforms failure from a source of shame into one of our greatest teachers. In Buddhism, failure is not an ending, it's a part of the journey. Every setback we encounter is an opportunity to learn, to reflect, and to grow. Failure holds up a mirror, showing us where we need to improve, where our attachments lie, and where we can cultivate greater wisdom and resilience. It challenges us to look beyond the surface and ask, what is this moment trying to teach me? When we view failure this way, it changes everything. Suddenly, life isn't about avoiding mistakes. It's about embracing them as stepping stones. Each failure becomes a guide, pointing us toward deeper understanding. Perhaps we learn to be more patient. Perhaps we uncover hidden strengths we didn't know we had. Or maybe we realize that what we thought we wanted wasn't truly aligned with our values. The Buddha taught the principle of impermanence, that everything in life, no matter how difficult or overwhelming, is temporary. This truth is profoundly freeing when it comes to failure. It reminds us that no matter how big or painful a setback feels in the moment, it will pass. Failure isn't permanent, and it doesn't define us. It's simply a moment, a fleeting part of the greater story of our lives. Understanding impermanence allows us to take risks without being paralyzed by the fear of what might go wrong. It encourages us to step into the unknown, to try, and to fail if necessary, knowing that every experience, success or failure, is part of our growth. With this mindset, failure becomes less of an obstacle and more of a doorway to wisdom. This isn't to say failure doesn't hurt. It does. But when we stop seeing it as something to fear, we start to see its value. Failure teaches us humility, reminding us that we're human and imperfect. It builds resilience, showing us that we're stronger than we think. And it fosters compassion, helping us empathize with others who are also struggling with their own setbacks. Each time we face failure with courage and curiosity, we reinforce our ability to move forward with greater clarity and strength. We become less attached to the need for perfection and more open to the lessons life is offering us. Failure stops being something to run from and becomes something we can embrace as part of the process of becoming. So, the next time failure knocks on your door, try to welcome it. Pause and ask, what can I learn from this? How can I grow? It may not feel easy in the moment, but with practice, you'll come to see failure not as an ending, but as a beginning. A powerful opportunity to refine your path and move forward with greater wisdom, resilience, and grace. In this way, failure becomes not a defeat, but a profound teacher on the journey to an unshakable mind. The people we surround ourselves with, the spaces we inhabit, and the media we consume, all of these shape the foundation of our mindset. Buddhism reminds us of a simple but profound truth. Our environment matters. It's not just the circumstances of our lives that influence us, but the energy and influence of those around us. This is why choosing our influences wisely is so important. Think about the people in your life. Some of them uplift you, inspire you, and make you feel capable of facing any challenge. These are the ones who see your potential, who encourage you to grow, and who help you stay aligned with your values. These relationships aren't always about agreement or ease. They may challenge you in ways that make you stronger. but they are rooted in positivity and mutual respect. Then, there are the relationships that drain you, the ones that leave you doubting yourself or questioning your worth. Negative influences can erode confidence and quietly pull us away from the path we want to walk. These relationships might not always seem harmful at first, but over time, their impact can weigh heavily on your spirit. Buddhism encourages us to cultivate relationships and environments that nurture our growth. This doesn't mean cutting people off the moment there's conflict. It's about being mindful of the energy you allow into your life and prioritizing connections that align with your highest self. A supportive community, whether it's a close group of friends, family, or a like-minded community, can provide incredible strength. During moments of challenge, these connections help us stay grounded, reminding us of our inner resilience. But this isn't just about the people in your life. It's also about the physical and mental spaces you create. Look around the space you live in. Is it a sanctuary for your mind? Does it feel calming and inspiring, or does it add to your stress? The environments we inhabit reflect and reinforce our inner state. A cluttered, chaotic space can leave our minds feeling just as scattered, while a peaceful, organized environment supports clarity and calm. And then there's the media we consume. Every article, video, or social media post you engage with leaves an impression. Some inspire joy, learning, or connection. Others fuel anxiety, fear, or comparison. Curating what you allow into your mind is just as important as curating the people and spaces in your life. Ask yourself, is this content helping me grow? Is it aligning with the person I want to be? When you consciously create a positive environment through the people, spaces, and content you choose, you lay the foundation for a resilient and peaceful mindset. This isn't about avoiding negativity entirely. Life will always have its challenges. It's about giving yourself the best tools and support to face those challenges with grace and strength. A positive environment doesn't just help you, it has a ripple effect. When you're supported and inspired, you bring that same energy to others. You uplift those around you, creating a cycle of encouragement and positivity. This is the power of intentional living, choosing what nurtures your growth and letting go of what doesn't. So take a moment to reflect. Who uplifts you? What spaces calm and center you? What content fills your mind with hope and wisdom? These choices aren't just small adjustments. They're the foundation of a life lived with intention, resilience, and peace. And they're entirely within your power to shape. Gratitude has the power to completely transform how we see the world. It shifts our focus from what we think is missing in our lives to what is already present. It's not just about making a list of things you're thankful for. It's about rewiring your mindset to see the blessings, both big and small, that surround you every day. In our busy lives, it's easy to focus on the gaps, the goals we haven't reached, the possessions we don't own, the things that didn't go as planned. But gratitude changes that perspective. It brings us into the present moment and anchors us in a deeper awareness of life's gifts. From the warmth of a morning sunbeam to the sound of a loved one's voice, gratitude invites us to savor these fleeting moments instead of letting them pass unnoticed. Even in life's most difficult times, there is something to be grateful for. It may not always be obvious, and it may feel small compared to the weight of our struggles, but it's there. Maybe it's the strength you found within yourself to keep going. Maybe it's the kindness of a stranger or the quiet comfort of a new day. Gratitude helps us look beyond our immediate challenges to see the threads of goodness that still weave through our lives. This practice isn't about denying pain or pretending everything is perfect. It's about acknowledging that life is complex, and even in the midst of hardship, there's beauty to be found. Gratitude teaches us to hold both joy and struggle at the same time, to see the full picture of our lives without being consumed by what's lacking. But here's the real secret. Gratitude doesn't just make us feel better. It changes the way we experience the world. When you start to focus on what you have instead of what you don't, you cultivate a mindset of abundance. Suddenly, life feels richer, more vibrant. You realize that happiness isn't something you chase or achieve. It's something you create by how you choose to see your life. The Buddha taught us to live in the present moment, and gratitude is one of the most powerful ways to do that. When you're truly grateful, your mind isn't worrying about the future or regretting the past. It's here, now, appreciating the life you're living at this very moment. So how do you practice gratitude? It doesn't have to be complicated. Start small. At the end of each day, reflect on one thing that brought you joy or peace. Maybe it was a kind word, a quiet moment, or even a challenge that taught you something valuable. Over time, you'll notice a shift in how you think, not just in those moments of reflection, but throughout your day. Gratitude is a muscle, and the more you use it, the stronger it becomes. It helps you see the world through a lens of possibility and hope. It grounds you when life feels overwhelming and reminds you that even in the darkest moments, there is light to be found. Happiness doesn't come from the external things we chase. It comes from how we choose to view and live our lives. Gratitude isn't just a practice, it's a way of being. It's a reminder that right here and now, there is more than enough to be thankful for. And when you embrace this perspective, you'll find that life itself becomes the greatest gift of all. Buddhism teaches us that the journey of growth is endless. True wisdom isn't a destination you reach or a prize you achieve. It's a lifelong process, a continuous unfolding of understanding. This perspective is both humbling and empowering because it reminds us that no matter where we are on our path, there is always room to grow, always more to learn. But this growth isn't just about acquiring external knowledge. It's not about memorizing facts or mastering skills alone. The most profound wisdom comes from within, through inner reflection. Every experience we encounter, every relationship we nurture, and every challenge we face is an opportunity to learn, not just about the world, but about ourselves. How did we react? What did it teach us about our fears, our strengths, or our attachments? When we approach life with a learner's mindset, we begin to see that even the most ordinary moments hold extraordinary lessons. One of the most powerful lessons Buddhism offers is the inevitability of change. Everything in life is in a constant state of flux. Our relationships, our circumstances, even the way we see ourselves. At first, this truth can feel unsettling. We often resist change because we crave stability and certainty. But when we embrace change with curiosity and humility, something remarkable happens. Instead of clinging to what was or fearing what might be, we start to navigate life with grace, openness, and adaptability. Imagine seeing every change, not as a disruption, but as a teacher. When you lose something you value, it teaches you about impermanence and the beauty of cherishing what you have while you have it. When a challenge arises, it reveals your inner resilience and forces you to grow in ways you never imagined. And even in moments of joy, change reminds you to be fully present, because every moment is fleeting. Growth doesn't happen all at once. It's a gradual process, unfolding one lesson at a time. Each experience, whether it feels positive or painful, brings us closer to a deeper understanding of ourselves and the world around us. With each lesson, we become more adaptable, more resilient, and more capable of facing life's uncertainties with calm and clarity. But this kind of growth requires a mindset of humility. It means acknowledging that we don't have all the answers, and we never will. It means being willing to question our assumptions, to admit when we're wrong, and to see mistakes not as failures, but as valuable opportunities to learn. When we let go of the need to be perfect or to have it all figured out, we free ourselves to truly grow. Buddhism reminds us that wisdom is not a fixed state. It's a practice, a way of being. It's about staying open to the lessons life offers us, even when they come in unexpected or difficult forms. It's about showing up every day with curiosity, ready to learn and evolve. And it's about recognizing that the journey itself is the destination. So, the next time you face a challenge or encounter change, pause and ask yourself, what is this teaching me? How can I grow from this moment? With this mindset, you'll find that every step forward, no matter how small, is a step closer to a richer, more meaningful understanding of yourself and the world. The journey of growth never ends, but that's what makes it so beautiful. Every day is an opportunity to begin again, to learn something new, and to move forward with grace and wisdom. The Buddhist secret isn't about escaping the challenges life throws at us. It's not about avoiding pain or pretending that struggles don't exist. Life will always have its storms, moments of fear, discomfort, doubt, and loss. The secret lies in transforming how we respond to these moments. It's about building a mindset so steady, so resilient, that no matter what comes your way, you can face it with clarity and peace. How do we do this? By cultivating mindfulness, the art of being fully present, observing your thoughts and emotions without judgment. By reframing fear, not as an obstacle, but as a teacher that reveals where you can grow. By embracing discomfort, not running from it, but seeing it as a temporary experience that strengthens you. And by nurturing self-belief, trusting that, no matter how hard the path becomes, you have the strength within to walk it. This isn't some mystical journey reserved for monks in monasteries or spiritual leaders detached from the world. It's a path for anyone willing to take the first step. You don't need to abandon your daily life, your responsibilities, or your goals. The Buddhist secret is about learning to bring peace and resilience into the life you're already living. It's about finding strength right here, in the middle of it all. And here's the most important truth. The strength you're seeking is already within you. It's not something you have to earn or search for. It's not something someone else can give you. It's something you unlock by looking inward, by trusting in your capacity to grow, and by embracing the practices that help you connect with your deepest self. As we come to the end of this journey together, I want to thank you for exploring this path with me. Remember, this isn't about achieving perfection or reaching some final destination. It's about the choices you make every day, the moments you choose mindfulness over distraction, courage over fear, and peace over chaos. Each of these moments builds the foundation for an unshakable mind. So as you move forward, may you carry this wisdom with you. May you approach life's challenges not with resistance, but with curiosity and grace. May you find strength in your struggles, clarity in your doubts, and peace in the middle of the storm. This journey is yours, and it's one of infinite potential. Thank you for allowing me to walk a part of this path with you. May your days ahead be filled with courage, clarity, and the unshakable peace that lies within. The secret is yours to unlock. Now, take the first step.